Hello, Southwind in an undisclosed location. This is Matthew with freeprescriptionlenses.com. And the reason I say an undisclosed location, that is because he serves in the U.S. military and is not allowed to tell me where he serves. So since he's got my back, yo, I got your eyes. Tonight I'm going to cut prescription transitions, well, they call it gray-green, but transitions green signature 7 lenses with Crizal Avance for your new RayBan 5154 color 2077 in the 49 eye size. Let's begin. Let's take everything out of the original packaging. The hard case that was just protecting it while I was banging on it. The cleaning cloth to clean your lenses. Of course, you're going to get a ton of those tonight. And of course, the matte black frame. It comes with a little plastic sleeve on the temple to protect the temples from rubbing together during shipping. And of course, you're going to get all of that. You're going to get all the accoutrements, which is French for all the crap, including the demo lenses, one of which says RayBan, so I'm going to pop these out now. Oop, where's my flashlight? Here it is. And of course, this is the RayBan 5144 color 2077, 49 eye size with the 21 bridge and the 140 temple length. This is the matte black, the military color, so it doesn't reflect. Matte black metal bottom. This is known as a combination frame, plastic top, metal bottom, with all black with only the silver shields. Now the shield covers up the rivets in the hinge, both that attach to the temple and to the frame front. That is why there's the shield there, the vintage look. So let's begin. Take the frame, put it into the tracing element of my edger, and hit start. How does the computer know what shape lens to cut, which is the big question I always get? This is why. The stylus goes around, traces the inside of the right side of the frame before doing the same thing on the left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. Have you heard that before? Buy any authentic, genuine RayBan frame and receive 1 free pair of single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance or unused flex dollars, you'll get reimbursed for this purchase, whether they are prescription or not. Now, Southwind, you know you need prescription. So let's go ahead and begin. The shape is about to come up on the computer. This green outline, which is magnified, if I will minify it down to the actual size, that is the shape. Of course, these little arms right here are blocking the view. That is the shape of the lens we'll be cutting tonight. Let me put that back on there. I can magnify that shape again. Let's go ahead and close this up. Let's go ahead and enter your pupillary distance, which is 55.5. Now I'm going to tap this button and I'm going to hit, well, actually, it starts at 32.5, but I'm going to tap the minus button until it gets down to 27.5. I am going to raise the optical center height up to 22. Let me mark that on here. Just because you are looking through the top half of the lens, I'm not going to put the opticals. It's just like the crosshairs of a scope. This blue cross is literally geometric center. If you were to measure vertically and horizontally, that is dead center, but your eye is above that and inset. So we're dialing that in for you, just like the crosshairs of a scope. We're aiming exactly right there to have your optical centers right there. Now, 27.5 equals 55 in both eyes. I cannot do quarter increments on here, so I'll show you my trick in just a moment. Let's come down here to my Marco 101 lensometer. Spin the axis wheel to 99, which is the axis for your right eye, your astigmatism correction. -2, -150. Let's see, where is it? -2, -150. Take the lens out of the protective sleeve. It comes with a little laminate on the front of the lens that protects the lens while it's being shipped to me. I'm going to take that off. Let's see, where am I at? -2. Well, actually, let me start over, make sure. Oh yeah, see, I moved the prism ring. Now it's dead center. Put it on -2, put the lens in, rotate it until the sphere power comes in clearly. Find the optical center of the lens, check your astigmatism correction, which I'll explain in just a moment. Put that in, then I'm going to put 3 dots on your lenses, which are never dark enough for you guys to see at home. It's barely dark enough for me. Let me put some more on there. Okay. There's a little inkwell here, and these pins are supposed to go in there, but it is such a fine tip. There we go. At least I can see some of those a little better. If I hold it up to white background, I can see it. That is 1, that is 2, and that is 3. This is the right lens. In fact, let me mark these packets. -2, -150. That way you know you're getting the authentic things. And this is the right lens. So you know these are the lenses that you'll be getting. Let's do the same thing now for the left. -150, -175 at 91. -150, -175 at 91. Turn the axis wheel to that. Take the lens out of the protective sleeve. Pull the laminate off. Put the power drum on -150. Rotate the lens until the sphere power comes in clearly. Check your astigmatism correction. Make sure all of that is lined up. And now we're going to dip that in the inkwell. Come on, get some ink on there. Get some ink on there. Press down. And 1, 2, and 3. And this is the left lens. And if you missed, oh, hang on, I'm getting ahead of myself. This is the left lens, -150, -175. This is the left. And again, if anyone missed any of that, let me recap. Oh! I tell you what, bad jokes never get old. I've told that joke for 271 videos, and it keeps getting funnier every time I say it. So, okay, the reason why I put those 3 dots on there, it tells me that it's oriented in there just perfectly. So this center dot, the optical center, well, that was convenient, they called it that. That's going to go on right here. Oops, getting ahead of myself again. I need to attach this to your lens while it is cutting. This is called a block, or as I like to call them, Jenny from the block. So I need to attach this using a double-sided adhesive sticker, of which I've got 2. The black side is the sticky side. I do not have a magnetic personality, nor do I have sticky fingers. So, place those on there, pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. I don't need that one just yet. I'll throw it up there out of habit. This silver button is a magnet on the, it's going to do its job twice tonight. The first time it's going to attach itself to something magnetical here in the arm. Put that on there. Get those dots lined up there just right. Center dot, and those 2 dots tells me that it's oriented in there just perfectly because of your astigmatism correction. And yes, that looks good. Hit that button. The arm's going to come down and place the block onto the right lens. Let's do the same thing now for the non-right lens. Put that on there, pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. Line up that arm. Now your pupillary distance is the same on both eyes, 27.5, same optical center height. And the reason I can get that extra 0.5 millimeter, instead of putting it right there dead center, I'm going to move it over where it's touching the edge of that box. That's how precise these dots are. And I'm going to make sure to double check everything. Yes, hit that button, and now the arm's going to come down and place the block onto the left lens. Now this is the edger. This is what costs $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out and buy their own. Then you can cut your own lenses at home. You won't need this guy anymore to do it for you. So the actual cutting wheel is over here on the far right. This whole wheel assembly is going to move to the center while it's cutting. But for now, the cutting wheel is on the far right with that white residue. That's going to act like a, well, that is residue, but the wheel itself is like a heavy grit sandpaper to grind away the lens material until it's the final size. This wheel in the center with that channel, that little valley, that's what's going to cut the V-shaped bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. I know I could get my fingernail in if I tried enough times. So let's go ahead and get started. Now the magnet's going to do its job a second time tonight. It's going to hold it in place into the chuck, or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I don't know this machine well enough to call it Chuck. I know, that joke keeps getting funnier too. Let's wake up the computer. That is the shape of the lens we'll be cutting, the right lens. I know that's the left lens, but it's when it's mirrored over, that's what it's going to look like. So these are polycarbonate lenses. I do not want to polish the edge of the lenses because they're not going to be seen. I'm not going to put a bevel onto the front surface, the convex surface of the lens. I'm only going to put a light bevel onto the rear concave surface of the lens. I'm going to hit start. The green button, which is start in every language. The door closes, the clamp shuts. The lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses, making sure that the lens is large enough to fit into the frame. and you can see as it's tracing the shape out. And it's also measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly and precisely where to place the bevel so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing. Now, the wheel is moving into place now. If you see light flickering in the background, that is water to catch the optical sawdust that comes off, that is ejected off of the lens as it is cutting. Polycarbonate lenses cut dry, where plastic, high index plastic, and Trivex cut wet. Now, water will spray onto the lens for the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle, just to wash away any optical debris that you see beginning to form on the edge of the lens. As I mentioned, these are polycarbonate lenses. Polycarb is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. They are virtually unbreakable. They are bulletproof up to 22 caliber. Good for you in the military there. Just shell casings ejecting out, other things like that. Stuff getting blown up, shrapnel. So this is good protection for your eyes. But it also has 100% UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin. Your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin when it comes to UV. So this is permanent UV protection that does not need to be reapplied, unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that you need to reapply whenever you're in direct exposure, long-term exposure to the sun. It's probably a good idea even for short-term exposure. Now, I'll demonstrate the transitions later, but you have the Crizal anti-glare coating. Crizal is 3 features in one. The first feature is that it eliminates glare, reduces glare when driving at night, particularly driving at night in the rain, but from street lights, stoplights, computer screens, overhead, fluorescent lights, and such. Now the second feature, it's a reflection-free lens, where it reduces reflection. So when someone's looking at you, they're not looking at their reflection in your lenses. Or if someone takes a picture with a flash, or if you take a selfie, you won't see the reflection or the flash lit up in the lens. You'll see just your eyes. Now the third feature that I like, which is the practical side, it comes with the industry's hardest scratch protection. Because the machine that applies the anti-glare, hang on, let me get back to that. You notice how your lens is completely flat, just like a nickel. If I were to take it out now, it would stand up on their own. Now it's getting the V-shaped bevel cut into the lens so it stays inside the frame. But the machine that applies the Crizal anti-glare coating costs well over $1 million. It takes 24 hours to literally vaporize 7 different coatings onto your lens. So because of the time and the expense, that's why they put the hardest scratch coating possible to protect your time and expense. Now water has begun spraying onto the lens, which tells me it's in the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle. Now that V-shaped bevel, that's like a knife-like edge, a very dull knife like me, but a knife-like edge nonetheless. So if you were to take your lens out, this lens is sharp enough to cut through a piece of toilet paper, providing you soak that toilet paper in a bucket of water overnight, press down with all your might, that lens might be able to cut through the edge. Now that little lever came out with a spinning wheel on the end of it. That's what's applying the safety bevel to the rear surface, the concave surface of the lens. Should any of it protrude from your frame and come in contact with your cheek, it will be smooth. Now I will open this door with my mind. You like that? I can do other things with my mind. I can melt ice with my mind. I can. It just takes a couple hours, but I can do it. Again, anyone who does not like my jokes, or if you have any complaints, write them down on a $100 bill, mail them to me. I will read them on the air. If you're really angry with me, I know there's some trolls out there, write it down on more than $100 bill. Write it on several of them and then mail it to me. Nothing gets the point like showing how angry you are on a $100 bill mailed to me anonymously. So, I can handle it. Really, guys, I can. So, throw your worst insults at me. So, look at this. A Phillips head screwdriver. Little bit, big bit. Little bit, big bit. Let's use the little bit. And I'm going to put it in there lefty-loosey. Let's see if, did I take it out? I did take it out all the way, so I'm going to turn it upside down. I do not want this screw to fall out. This is something you don't see, a tray. I'm going to hold the frame over a tray. On the rare chance that screw falls out, it falls into the tray and not on the floor. You are not paying me enough to get on my hands and knees and look for that screw. Okay, I will. You don't have to pay me to do that. It's just embarrassing to do it in a video. And I'm undefeated. I've not had to do it yet. And Southwind, I'm not starting with you. Alright, so righty-tighty, I put that in there. Okay, That's good. Let's go ahead and start cutting the non-right lens. Flip that over to L. Put that in. Hit the, I did put on L, hit the start button. Just like before, the door closes, the clamp will shut, and then the lens is going to be traced by the two white styluses, making sure that it's large enough to fit into the frame. You can see as it's going around tracing the shape. And then it always measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly and precisely where to place the bevel, so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing. And look at that. Hardly any thickness in this frame with that prescription. So let's go ahead and take this block off. It is no longer needed. Ooh, that red dot is barely there. Where's my pen? We can come down here to my Marco 101 dusty, trusty lensometer. Let me put a dot on there. We'll be measuring that later. So, put it in over the thing. Turn the axis wheel back to 99, the red dot being the thing. Put it in over the red dot. The thing, that's real scientific, isn't it? Okay, so let's measure the power of the lens. I'm getting -2. -2, that's a good start. So the unit of measurement used in the optical world is a diopter, spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R, starting at 0, which is plano, or no power, and going up in quarter increments from there. 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1. You need 8 steps of far-sighted correction. You are nearsighted. With your glasses on, everything is much too large and real. With your glasses off, everything is much too large. So that is why there's a minus sign. Your lenses will minify down to to make something the correct size. Now once it's the correct size, you need an additional 6 steps, 1.5 diopters, 6 steps of astigmatism correction. Astigmatism is what makes 6s and 8s look alike, or the letters P and F. Think of it as the fine-tune knob. So once it's the correct size, we have to make it nice and crisp, and we're going to turn that fine-tune knob to 99. This prescription tells me that you are not a fighter pilot or a sniper. So, little trick that I know of. Unless you're really impressed your commanding officers or you're good at blackmail. But with that prescription, it's hard to be either of those professions. So, let's see. Yeah, 99. That's where we're at, 99. So we found out the spherical component, the far-sighted correction of -2 diopters. Let's check your 1.5 steps of astigmatism correction. And we end up at -350, exactly halfway between 3 and 4. Remember high school algebra where you add 2 like signs together? Yeah, don't worry, I've forgotten algebra too. Let's use today's terms. If someone had borrowed $2 and then they borrowed another $1.50, they would owe you $3.50. $3.50 in the red. How about that? Now, your left eye, you only need 6 steps of far-sighted correction, but you need a 7th step, so you need 2 less spherical components for your left eye, but you need 1 more additional step, and we turn that fine-tune knob to 91. Now, these first 2 numbers are real values to be concerned with. This last number could be anywhere from 0 to 180. That just tells us you have 1 curve on your eye this way, the spherical, you have your astigmatism. That just tells us where to line up those 2 curves so that you see your best. Let's go ahead and put that left lens in. Let's see if it fits. Take it out. Dry everything off so it's not slippery and I don't drop this on the floor. Dry my hands off. Let's inspect. Oh, look at that. You see that? A little bit of schwarf left over that did not get water. Oh, I love it when it comes off in one piece like that, just like when you clean the lint trap on the dryer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean it all off using my thumbnail. I'm going to make sure all of it is off of your lens. And once I'm convinced that every bit has been removed from your lens, I carefully and very neatly collect it into one pile, and then I wipe it on the floor. That never gets old either. I'm telling you, when the clown gets to laugh at work, it's a good day at work. So, Lefty Lucy. So I wouldn't date a girl named Lucy. She's no, wait, I blew the joke. I wouldn't date a girl named Lefty because she's too Lucy. Okay, all right, don't worry. I'm not going to quit my day job. Righty-tighty. That's good. Let's take this block off. How about that for edge thickness? Hardly any. Yeah, that looks good. Let's come back down here to the lensometer. Turn that fine-tune knob to 91. The crispness knob. Is there even a dot left? No, there's not. I can put a new one on there. Let's find the spherical component. We are at minus 150, minus 150. Now another 7 steps of astigmatism correction. Minus 150, minus 175, and we end up with minus 3 1/4. How about that? Now, let me make sure everything's lined up. And I'm sorry you can't see any of this. I'm going to put a dot back on the lens. Let's darken that so everyone at home can keep score. Now your pupillary distance is 55.5. I'm going to turn the card around, place the PD stick against my thumb on your right lens, and then when we hold it up to the left lens, we're getting 55.5. How about that? You can't get any better than that if I had done it myself. Wait, I did do it myself. Okay, so this is the point in every video that as I clean your lenses, I explain that when you get these in the mail and in your undisclosed location, free shipping anywhere in the US and the US territories. And that's the cool thing about the military. You could be anywhere in the world. It costs me the same to ship. I love that. So clean everything off, but when you get these in the mail, there's a small chance, well, that these could fit too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That is because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other. And because of that statistic, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. So just stop by your local place and just tell them if it's too loose or too tight or high on one side. They'll know what to do. It only takes about 30 seconds to a minute to adjust a pair of glasses properly. But I'm going to get these in standard alignment, also known as a 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, the bottom of the frame being 3. I set it on the counter and press down. There is no wobble. When I say wobble, I'm part of that 80%. When I take mine off, they wobble on the counter, but they sit level on me. Now, for those of you keeping score at home, I'm wearing the RayBan 2132 New Wayfarer in color 789, the blue-orange, because this is the first day of spring. 77 degrees here in North Carolina, and there were spring tryouts for the Durham Bulls baseball team. That is my hometown semi-pro team. Perhaps those of you who remember the movie Bull Durham that was filmed here. I was an extra on the set. That's another story. I was in the stands. I was supposed to be in the stands, but I wandered off. I never made it into the movie. But anyway, that's why I wear these, although a lot of people like them. The Denver Broncos, Cleveland Brown, what is it, Chicago Bears, New York Giants, Auburn, Clemson. But I like it because the color code is the punchline to 2 jokes, an adult joke and a child joke, color 789. Why is 6 afraid of 7? Because 789. But the adult version, why is 6 afraid of 7? Because 7 is a registered 6 offender. Okay, all right, we're going to keep this PG. Let's move on. Flip this over, press down. There is no wobble. Close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly, and they do. Now check the tension in each hinge to make sure they're the same. Now this is what your lenses look like clear the first time. In fact, wait, hang on. Let me give them one last cleaning. By the way, not only am I going to provide one of my own premium microfiber cleaning cloths, but you get one from RayBan. And you're going to get one from Crizal that comes with your lenses. Your lens company is giving you a cleaning cloth. Your frame company is giving you a cleaning cloth. And this guy is giving you one. Mine's the best. You're going to end up liking mine the best. Everyone, it's larger, it's softer, it feels better. I pay more for mine than these people do, even though they buy a million at a time. But I'm going to clean mine off, making sure that it works. I do not want to send out a defective cleaning cloth. So when you get this in the mail and you see the wrinkles, you know it works. You can't say it doesn't. So this is what the lenses look like first time. Oh, so I'm going to provide you with cleaning instructions, not only for your lenses and your frame, but for all 3 cloths and your case. So those 2 will last you for years. No other seller on the internet does that, so I am told by my adoring fans. Also, I send out a selfie request to have your picture on the website. Southwind, please, you got to do this. You got to do this. I've had other military guys do it in uniform, so you can't tell me you're not allowed to do that. I mean, you might not, but they did it anyway. Don't worry, I won't tell on you. I won't get you in trouble. But this is what your lenses look like while they are clear. Can you see how your lenses minify? I don't know if my camera can pick that up, but as I move your lenses over the print, hopefully these letters are getting smaller. Does it work? Does it work? I can't tell. I can't see what you are seeing until I watch the video. But so let me go ahead and activate these the first time. As you can see, it takes about 30 to 45 seconds for the lenses to darken. Ah, come on, you get in there. I'll just hold it. Now, as I was saying, it takes about 30 to 45 seconds for the lenses to darken when you go outside. It takes a little bit longer when you come back inside, a minute to a minute 15 to return back to virtually clear. Now, this is important. Pay attention. All transition lenses get dark on day 1. They're going to continue to darken every day for the first couple weeks until they reach their final setting. After that, they will work for years with maximum performance. The only time they won't work is if you're behind the windshield of a car. Your windshield absorbs all the sun's harmful UV rays that would cause them to turn dark. It does that so it protects your upholstery from rotting and your dashboard from cracking from sitting in the sun all day. Now, if you have a convertible or motorcycle, they will darken. Now, as soon as you step out of the car, they will also darken. So, they also work better when it's 80 degrees and below. But when it's, I remind everyone, when it's 100 degrees outside, you're miserable, they're miserable. Nobody works 100% when it's 100 degrees outside. So as soon as it cools off to below 90, below 80, they'll get really dark. This is the first time they've been activated. Can you see the green in there? Pretty cool. Looks like the RayBan G15. But this is the first time they've been darkened. Come on, Ann. They'll keep getting darker. Come on, Ann. So we talked about that. And you see that they get dark. Yes, let me play that one off. All right, editing. Don't worry, I was smooth. Everything's cool. So, if anyone has any questions about what I can or can't do, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com or simply click the contact me button on the website. Southwind in an undisclosed location. Where's my flashlight? You know, I got a smaller one. I just can't find it. Hope you enjoyed watching as I cut Transitions green lenses with Crizal Avance for your RayBan 5154 color 2077 and the 49 eye size with the 21 bridge. Of course, you only get, this comes in a 51 and a 49, but you only get a choice of 21 bridge in either one. But hopefully everyone else has got a chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.